Hello, here's Chris with a new quick tip video for Blender. This time it's not really a quick tip, it's more like a small tutorial. What we will learn today is how to create this quick sword. My tutorial is a bit longer, but if you know what to do, you can make this sword in 5 minutes. Why? It's very easy, because I show you how it's built. This sword is built mainly of modifiers. So when I switch on the blade, I switch the modifiers off, then you see just a plane. If I switch on the cross here, on the cross guard, then you switch the modifiers off and you see it's just some edges. And the same here for the grip. When I switch the modifiers off, then I see just some elements here that makes this sword completely like a sword. So let's see how this works. Okay, before we start, I tell you which add-ons you have to activate to follow this tutorial. First we go to Edit Preferences, and there you will find or activate the add-ons. You can see them here in the Add-ons tab. The first add-on is Loop Tools. Loop Tools is an add-on that should be activated by default in Blender, so you have to check this one first. The next add-on you need is F2. It's an older add-on but very handy if you are working with modeling, so you can do a lot of stuff with it, like connecting vertices to make them a plane or a face and so on. And the third is Extra Objects. It's this one here. There are two extra add-ons, at extra curves and extra meshes, and in our case we need the extra objects menu or the extra objects element add-on. Yeah, it adds vertices and some other objects to the mesh menu. So great, these are the three add-ons we need. So first we start with the front view, and I press 1 on my keyboard. Maybe I switch my little add-on on here. Okay, so I press 1 on my keyboard, then 5, and you see we are in the front orthographic view now. And we add a new element, a new mesh, and we do this by the add menu here, mesh, and then we add a single vertex. And this is one of the extra add-on elements you will find now. So you can add a single vertex, or you have some more options. In this case, I will add an origin and a vertex, but mirrored. This means we have now a vertex added. You can find the vertex here in the outliner. The vertex has a name, symmetry vertex. You can rename it now. I rename it here to blade, because this will be our blade from the sword. Good. We are directly here in the edit mode, because this add-on creates a vertex and a modifier here, a mirror modifier with an x-axis, and this add-on moves or switches directly to the edit mode, and you can see we are here in the vertex mode. Additionally, you have some options. You can switch the mirror axis here and some other elements. Well, the vertex we have created is already selected directly. It's here, you can see it. This object has one vertex and one is selected. So when I press A, no vertices are selected, and we don't see it here selected. And we see there is no 0 vertices selected and 1 is in the object. I press A again, and now we can create vertices. In Blender, we can now create vertices in two ways. The first one is we press Ctrl and press the right mouse button. Then we can create a vertex where our cursor is. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the left mouse button to select objects and move them, and the right one to cancel a movement or to create new vertices in this way, to press Ctrl and right mouse button. Additional information, you can see maybe that I'm clicking here around, and nothing has happened, and can move my vertex. If you want to move the vertex just by clicking outside of the vertex, you have to switch here the select box to move, to select and move here, this one. So now you can move the selection just by dragging outside of your object. So when I move here, I can move it, click again, and it will be placed on somewhere here. So the same happen when I move it around and don't need to click directly. It's very handy. Okay, now I move the vertex a bit up and place it here to the center. To place this vertex to the center, you can just use here the transform coordinates, place 0, and we can now create another vertex. The second one we do is this one have to be selected. We use the E key, and now I can extrude a vertex and an edge will be created too. So the next one will be here and E again, and I will create one here. So I will set the position to 0 in the z-axis, so we have now a half blade. So first we look how big or how long is this one here. Our vertex have 1.8 meters. That's a bit long for a sword, so I will use 80 centimeters, 0.8 meters, and the same with those here. I will move them down. So we move them a bit here, and this one G and X to move it on the X-axis. We will move them here. So great. Okay, so I move around and I switch now back to the object mode with chop, and we see we have now edges but no faces. So the reason is very easy. We have used vertices and the vertices were extruded, and now we have edges and no faces. Now I switch to my edge mode. If you like, you can do this and select two opposite edges. And when we click now on F, a face will be created. So we see a face and it's double-sided. It's not really double-sided. The Blender mode here is not showing us backface culling. So you can switch it on. If you don't know where backface culling can be switched on, you can do it here in the shading menu. And there you can switch on backface culling. And now we see our faces are looking or facing backwards to the other side. To switch the normals here, we go into the edit menu, select one of those here, one face, and switch it. You have two ways. You can use a shortcut, Alt-N, or you go to Mesh, Normals, and then you can flip the normals, and here you see the shortcut. So now the normals are facing to us, to the front view. Okay, I will correct a bit here the vertices, make them a bit tighten here. So great, G and this way, so it looks a bit like a sword. Great. So the next what I do is I will make a small here extrude. So for this I will go to the edge menu or press 2 on my keyboard. 1, 2 and 3 are switching here between the modes. 2 is the edges and clicks to the edge, and press now again E. But this time I press Z to extrude just in the Z axis. Now I extrude it down, and here we see in our options I will extrude minus 15 centimeters. I'm using the metric system, so here we have it. Great. And now I will subdivide this element here a bit by pressing Ctrl R. Okay, and move it a bit to the center. The same will be done or can be done here, but in this case, yes, I do it. Ctrl R, and will be now loop and cut will be used, and now we can make this. Now I move this edge here to the center, and we have a nice sword. It's very flat, but later I will give it some solid or some strength, some weight. So the same we will do here in the top, and we will wait. I will do Ctrl R and move it a bit up. So great. And now it looks like this. Maybe we can with double G we can move it these edges on the edges here, this, and now we see it's here. That's okay for now. Good. The next one will be the handle. So to create the handle, we go into the wireframe mode. To switch to the wireframe mode, you just press here this icon, or you press that and then move to the left. It's very fast this way. If I press that and move to the right, I go to solid and so on. But if I do it very fast, you can see we can switch very fast to different modes. If you know which modes you are using, you can use this for a very nice way to do it. Okay, continue. This is our cursor, and here at this position, every new object will be created. So now I do the same. Press Shift A and add a mesh, and this time again a single vertex, but this time only a single vertex, no mirror, just a single vertex. And now again we switch to the edit mode. The last mode was edges, so the reason is why we are in the edges mode. So now I switched with 1 to the vertex mode, and now we have the vertex selected. This will be our shape for our grip here. So I press E again and press X to move it a bit to the right, and then E again and maybe down to this position. Okay, and E again and X and move it here, and then we move it to 0. Okay, so now we have already a nice grip, but the problem is we have just the shape. So to make a real grip of this, we go first to the solid mode here, and now we go to the modifiers and add a screw modifier. The screw modifier directly makes a screw. What is it? What does it? It makes, you see, it makes a round cube, a round screw. It uses the origin here, and this axis will be used to make a round screw of this here. You have much more elements here in the screw modifier, but for us, we only just need this here and don't look on the other options for now. Okay, then we can use and set the steps here. We can make it finer. I will switch to wireframe so you can see it. Here we can use more steps to make it fine or not. And yeah, and you see it is completely smooth shading. So this is the option that makes it smooth. Even if you are using the right mouse button to make it smooth, nothing happens. The screw modifier makes it themselves. You have to go to smooth shading. The second thing you should do is you have to merge vertices. You merge the vertices here in the center. You must know the screw modifier makes it all around and don't merge it directly. So you have to do it here. So this handle or this grip is a bit too smoothie. To make it more sharpened, you go to the data block here on normals, and then you go to auto smooth. With auto smooth option, you have an angle that gives you the smoothing. So the higher the angle, the smoother it begins to be. So at the moment we have 30 degrees, and that's okay for now. Okay, this is now a thing that looks a bit like a sword. To make this grip here or a bit more interesting, we go back to the edit mode, and we see here are our vertices. And what I do now is I will click these 2 vertices. Or maybe wait, I will click this vertex and press Alt V. Or press the right mouse button and go to, wait, it's maybe in the mesh menu. Let's see. Alt blah blah blah. I'm using always my shortcuts. Here we have it. Rip vertices. It's very interesting. I'm pressing just right mouse button. Oh, make it Control V. Yeah, Control V is very good. Rip vertices. This one, or rip vertices and fill. This one I'm looking for here. So what I do now, you see, I've ripped, duplicated the vertex and can move it now. And I move it down to the Z-axis here. You see, I will do it again. So you see, this is a regular vertex, and now I press Alt V for rip and fill. And now I can move it around. And when I press Z, I can move it down. At the moment, I can snap incrementally here. For this, I'm pressing the Control key, and now I can snap incrementally. Incrementally means every unit of our grid here will be switching here, our vertex. So I'm pressing, or I am dragging here the Control button. So okay, I will move it down here to this position, or yeah, let's say here. So here's the Control button. It makes here the snapping on. This is a snapping, and we use it contemporary. And here this mode says what is snapped to, which target. At the moment it's incrementally. Incrementally, as I explained, is this unit here, this distance between these 2 points where the square is. Good. Now I switch or click 2 vertices on and press right mouse button to subdivide it. In this case, our edge will get a new vertex in the center. I click on the center and can move it now to the side. I move it a bit into. So, okay, what happens? Our object here, our screw modifier, is merging these vertices here together in the center. You can see it. This is not what we want. The reason for it is the distance here, the merge distance. So I make it a bit smaller. And now you see it's merging, but later, you know? Okay. So let's continue to make our grip here. And now I click here on the center, and I will now bevel the vertex. To bevel the vertex, I'm looking for the here is it. In the right mouse button menu, you will find this here, bevel vertices, and you can now bevel the vertex. Interesting is, I found a small bug here. If you are doing this here in the main menu, it does not work. Let's see. Blend for shape, where is it? Bevel vertices. First I have to find it. Vertex, here. Bevel vertices, and you see nothing happens. Seems to be a bug in the 2.8 at the moment, so the main menu bevel vertices is not working. But if you are doing it by a shortcut or by the right click menu, then it works. So we have now bevel vertices, and now with the mouse roll in the center of our mouse, the center, we can create now some subdivisions, and it looks nice now. So what happened? As you can see, I've beveled my vertices and my grip is not looking very nice. The reason for this is the screw modifier again. So the point is, we have a calculation order for our vertices, and I have disturbed the calculation order because I've added a new vertex and made some beveled or some subdivisions. To control or to avoid this, you click here on calculation order. In this case, our object will be recalculated. And if it is flipped like this one here, then you click on flip and then it's okay. You see? That's all. Our screw modifier delivers all what we want to have it here. So maybe I will make my handle, my grip a bit bigger. I go back to the edit mode and click here on this or on all vertices. We can do it by A2, and we have now here our cursor. If the cursor is not here, you can click this vertex, press Shift S, or go to transform. It should be here. Select mesh, transform, and no, snap here, snap and cursor to selected, and the cursor will be moved to the selected objects. And now we will do the following. I go back to solid. I have the cursor here selected, and I switch here now from median point to cursor, you see? And when I'm now scaling by pressing S, then my object will be scaled from the cursor position. This is very nice. So you could use, if you want, some more or some different cursor, and you can always scale from the cursor position, not from the center of our selected elements. So I go back and say here, median point for the next work we do. So great, this is now our grip here, looks nice. And what we do now is we make the cross guard here, this element, okay? In this case, we do the same. Wait, maybe I will rename this object. For any reason, it's directly in the collection. However, I will move it here, so we have our blade here too. And now I will rename this here. You can do it the same here in the objects and say we have now the grip. So the next one, or better, I will do here sort, so it will be better arranged here in our outliner. Okay, so it's all here in the right position. So I could use the new collection for the sword, of course, but I use it here. Okay, so we have the cursor here at this position, and now it's by 0. Here you can see the position of the cursor, it's 0. And now we create a new object with a vertex. So this time Shift A, mesh, single vertex, and again with mirror. Okay, so now I will extrude to the x-axis here, and the next one extrude to z. Okay, maybe a bit to here. So you can see we have now our cross guard, and the cross guard is a bit thin, it's just some edges. So to avoid this, or to make them not edgy, we go now and add a new modifier. This time we add skin. Okay, skin looks very strange, really crazy. To correct this, we go to the wireframe and select our edges. So okay, so what we have to do is here we have to define the diameter of our skin, of our modifier. So you will see it in some seconds. So for the diameter here of our modifier, there is a value. It's the mean radius x and epsilon. So I do it here now and make it to 0. Now we have our edge back, but our modifier is still here, the skin modifier. So what I do now is I will select both here by dragging and move them to left and right. And when I press Shift while this, I can use smaller steps, you see? So now we have a nice element here, a nice cross guard, and maybe I mark this to, 115, it's okay. 015. So, okay, this looks not bad, but not very nice. So we can control the points here in our cross guard. To do this, we go to the edit mode here, click, for example, this point and go back to the solid mode. The point is selected. If you want to see it always, I think it's good to go to the view display and say we want it always in front. And no, it's all edges maybe. No, it's not here. So we don't see the edges here inside, but it's not a problem anyway. So I've selected this point here, not this one, this point. And now I can change the diameter here at this position. I can do it here with these values. So we have two values, the x-axis here, you see, I move it a bit around here, or we make this one here. So I make it like this, for example, and it looks not bad, and maybe smaller, so like this one. So the same can be done, for example, with the center. So we can make it a bit bigger, and now it looks much nicer, okay? The next, what we do is, we go back to the wireframe mode here. Again, wait, okay, and click here, this point, and make another vertex bevel, like this here, okay? And now it looks better, and we can change it a bit. So wait, I will now make the size a bit smaller, for example, like this, and or wait, I will make it bigger. This looks better. So this one, great. Okay, and maybe the height a bit like this here. So no, this one and this one. Okay, and it looks nice. The next what I do is I will add a bevel modifier. A bevel, or maybe some smoothment here, smooth shading in the skin modifier. Now it's smoothed. And again, I go to the data block, normals on, and we have a nice blade here. Wait, I will now make maybe some changes. So wait, okay. Wait, I will click on those here and make them a bit smaller. Okay. Good. Oh, wait. I'm an artist. Artists are looking for nice results. Okay, that's okay. That's okay for the tutorial. You will make a better one than me, maybe. And yeah. Wait, I'll make it a bit like this here. Okay. Good. So back to the bevel. Bevel. We add a new bevel or bevel. Is it bevel or bevel? I don't know. Germans are talking strange. Okay, so you see now we have a nice bevel, and I switch this off, clamp overlap, and use 1 millimeters for it. Okay, and maybe 2 steps more so it's round. It looks, no, I make it back. It's okay. So the next one is I will add some subdivision surface, and now it looks not bad, like this here. Okay, maybe there's a bit more steps here, and I will use the bevel 1 step more here for the bevel. Okay, that's okay. Fine, that's okay. Good, very nice. So we have this one. So the next is we go back to the grip and make some interesting things. I will select here every second vertex and move it a bit to the to outside and flip the order again. So we see it looks now like this, and we see too the shading is not really good. So the reason is here, it's too big. So I say 20. Let's say 25, and now it's okay. Okay, this is our shading. So if you want, you can add some bevel here. Maybe we do it bevel and clamp here 1 millimeter again and 3. And it looks not bad, and you see all is beveled. To do all edges, we go to angle, and maybe this was the reason. Angle, smaller. Okay, no 20. Let's say 20. It's to 25. Okay, 25 is okay. Now it's always round. So again, we go now to this one and change it to angle, and it looks better. Great. Very nice. Maybe I make some change. Okay, this time, and this time I go back a bit. Okay. Okay, this is our now. I am pleased. Okay, I'm pleased. But I will switch. No, I don't switch something. So the last thing we do is we give this blade some more solid element. So at the moment, just a flat plane. So we go here and switch to solidify. And at the moment, the solidify is going to the back side, backwards. So I show it to you. When I increase the size, it's going backwards or back if I going to the negative value. So to change this, the reason for this is the offset. So -1 means it have to go to the opposite side. 1 means it have to start at the center and go to the positive side. But we want to have it in the center. So when I change our thickness, it became bigger from the center. So when I move it here, for example, 5 millimeters, so every side from the center have 2.5, and it makes 5 millimeters. The complete diameter is 5 millimeters. So I will make it here 1 centimeter. Great. This is all not bad, but the blade have actually an edge, and the edge is not very sharp. So what to do? We will use this option here. There is a group. With this group, we can set the sharpness of the edges, or better, we set the thickness for our Solidify modifier. So what we do is we go into the edit mode. So we see all vertices here, all vertices. And we go to the data block of this object and create a new vertex group. And this one is called solid. Okie dokie. And now we set all to 1. At the moment, as soon as you are as you create a vertex group, the value here, the value of 100% will not be set, or the vertices will not be added to this group here. To do this, you go to Assign. Now all vertices that are selected are added to the solid group, and they will get a value 1 in this case. Okay? So what happened? The point is, our Solidify modifier will get now the solid group and nothing changes. Why? The reason is easy, because every vertex here have a value of 1. And now we come to the next option. Here I click the top here, and we can now set the value for the size of our Solidify modifier. To do this, you have two ways. The first one is you go, select this point, for example, this vertex here, this one or this one, how you want, and can now set the weight by using 0.5, for example. Nothing happens. Why? Because you have to assign it. And now you see it is thinner. The same can be done to every and so on. But we want to make it a bit faster. So we set a value here by using this value here. You see, it's changing as soon as I'm clicking here and stops at 1, because 1 is the 100% value of our solidifier. So what I do now, I will make it to 0. But I want to do it all here, all on the edge. So what I do is I select all my vertices here for the edge. This one, this one, this one. If you don't know how to select a rail or a group here, a way, or a loop, you click the first one, Control, and then the last one, and then all will be selected up to here, from here to here. Okay, anyway, so I'm now here, I've selected all my edges, and now I set it to 0, nothing happened, and now to copy. So the active vertex will be used, the value, and copy it to all the other ones who are selected. Now we have a very nice blade, but it's a bit, yeah, not so nice. It's a bit, I don't know. Maybe I will change to a different mode here. Wait, here. I will change to Madcap to make it better, and we'll switch to one of the new shaders. The Madcap shaders became much better. Let's see, cavity was it? Yeah. And you see now we have cavity to see it better. So we can see now our blade. It's not very nice. It has some edges here. So the first one I will do is I will make it smooth by right click, shade smooth. Okay, it's so completely smooth. So what I want to do is I want to make some edges sharpen. So what I do, I go to the wireframe mode, press 2, and now, because I have selected the vertices before, the edges are selected now again. I have this edges and right mouse button. Wait, I will switch back to my dev, here to the look dev, to the solid mode, yeah. Right mouse button now, and go and say mark sharp. And now the edges are sharp. Here, we don't see it very good, but I do it the same for the center. So here, I click those here, and go back and say right mouse button, mark sharp. And now it's sharp. You don't see it really. Wait. It should be sharp. So I will click those here again, and this one not. Anyway, this and this, and right mouse button, mark sharp. For any reason it's not. I know, I forgot something. Haha. This sharp elements are only working. I forgot to set the normals auto smooth on. Now all works, you see? So don't forget, if you are marking something sharp, it's only working when you switch the normals. Here the auto smooth on. Now all is working. Okay? So you can set here the value to 90, for example. That's not a problem because all is sharp. I press now to the isolate mode here. Wait, again, okay. And we'll make this here sharp too, here and here. this one and this one, right mouse make sharp here, and we have it like we want. Back. So this is now our sword. It looks much better. So okay, that's great. Maybe we make here a small fuller here. This is a fuller from here to here. So this is here. I go to the wireframe mode, go to this edge. Okay. And I could move it down, but I need a small subdivide. So wait, Control R, subdivide, move it a bit up here. And then I click to this edge. Okay. And move the edge to the center a bit. Okay. So I show it to you when I move it. G and then epsilon. And you see, now I moved it to the center. And now it has a small filler. It's very nice. So we can use it here. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's a great sword. I hope you liked it. Now we are nearly ready. And if you like, I will make some new materials to it. So what we do now is I will click on the blade. It's selected because we are here on the display. Overlays are off. So now I go to the materials, go here new and make a blade. And oops, blade. Great. And this blade is completely metallic. Okay. And maybe silver. We make it to 0.5 here. And the roughness is 0.1. It looks like this. And the second one is made of gold. Gold. And we make the color here a bit like this. And metallic completely, as you can see. And it has to be roughness 0.2. And we make the same here. We go on this ball and say it's gold. And now we have a nice sword. To make some more effects. Oh, there is something interesting. Here we see some shading problems. Shading problems. Why? Let's see. I will check it. This looks okay, but in the def mode looks not so good. Let's see what happens. Actually, it should look okay. So let's see. Maybe we can change the smoothing. Oh, it's okay. The smoothing. Wait, something is wrong here. So sometimes you have to change the order. So I press on right mouse button and where is it? Rotate edge counterwise. Okay, so let's see what happened. Better, a bit better. Not really good, but better. What is the reason? Shading studio. Maybe we can make, wait, haha. Maybe we can, we go here and I go to the vertex mode and move it a bit down with double G to make the shading a bit better. So you have to correct the shading sometimes a bit to make it better. So what I've done, I have moved the vertices here a bit, you see, and they are looking better now. So what I do now, I will go to the vertex mode. I will click on the, there is the in-between vertex. That's, an n-gon. Okay, this one will be, first click on this one, right mouse button, or wait, click on this one and delete it, and then dissolve vertices, and now it's gone. Great. So let's see, it's better? Is it better? Yeah, better. Okay. So, okay, maybe one thing more. I know it's a bit longer than expected. So we click on this vertex and then on this vertex, we press right mouse button, go to the loop tools and say here, loop tools, and say space. Space is doing following. It takes all the selected vertices and distributes them in the same space of this area here. Here's it. it is here. So great. I go back and now it looks better. So you see, when you want more, you have to go to the edit mode and here subdivide more. Yeah. So great. What you can do is I use a knife tool because I don't want to have. Oh, I will do it here. Okay, it's one subdivision and maybe here 2. Okay. And that's okay, maybe 3. Okay, then I take those, right mouse button and space, and now it's very nice. And if this is not nice here, you go here and say relax. Wait, I will make this one a bit to the center. X here, wait, GX. Okay, this one select and right mouse button and say relax. Now it looks better. Okay, maybe again relax. Yeah, and we change the space with loop tools and space. So great. Now it looks very nice. So you see, this is now our sword. Okay, maybe not very nice, but double G. But it's okay. Some corrections. I'm sure you will do it right or better like me. So great, this is our sword now, and I hope you liked my sword. And yeah, we will make another small to make it nicer. I know I am using it, I need more time, but I don't know, I'm an artist. Open image, and it's now in the background here especially here in our render room, while we don't see something because we are in the orthographic view here. Wait, I will show it to you here, orthographic. But we want the perspective here, press 5, and now our background is here. So in Eevee, here we have an Eevee, the background only is seen when you have perspective on, okay? So we have it here. If you don't like your background, and if you want to use just the light, so what you have to do the following. You go to here, go to the shader editor, then you switch to world, and here we see our configuration for the background, for the light. This is the image, this is the background, and the image is in the background, and in the world is the background with an image, okay? Now I duplicate this here. I need another background because I want to see a black background, but a light for my sword, but a background light for my sword. So how to do this? We click on this one and add a mixer for shader, mix shader, press it here, switch this one to here. Okay, now we can switch between this and this. This color is gray, it's here. We don't see it, so we add a new node. It's the RGB node, and we use it black. And the black color goes now into the background. And now we can switch between both. But as you can see, as soon as the background is black, the sword becomes black too. So what to do? We add another node. It's a light path node here. The light path node, we can read some information, some data, and in this case we use its camera ray. So I press or take this and drag it here to the factor, okay? And now, when I make some I see my light is here from the image and my background is here from my RGB value. Great. And if you take some more effects like bloom, it looks very nice. So great. This is now our sword. I hope you liked my sword here. Now we are ready with the small quick tip. It's not really a quick tip. It's again a small tutorial. Sorry, I hope you liked it. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you subscribe my YouTube channel or watch me or visit me on my Gumroad shop to support me making more of such things. Thank you very much.